Hello, everyone. My name is Vernice, and this is my podcast, Speak Up. Shout out to my new listeners out there. For those of you that don't know, the mission statement for this podcast is we'll use our voices to motivate people to overcome life challenges through self love and respect. This is a place for self love and respect. Hope you guys' February is going well so far. March is around the corner. I am really surprised at how fast this year is going, but I hope you guys are all taking care of yourselves. I'm so excited for tonight's episode. I actually have another artist spotlight episode, so I'm happy to get to know this artist, about him and his music and everything he has going on. I want y'all to welcome Heir The Prophecy. Hey, what's up?
What's going on? Thank you for having me, first and foremost.
My pleasure. Thanks for coming on. I'm excited to learn more. Yes. Good job, by the way, on the Clap It Up panel for your performance.
Thank you. Shout out to Brock, man. He's always been one of those guys that's been rooting for me and rocking with me, and just whenever he could, just put me in every spotlight possible. So I appreciate him more than anything. That's been my guy for 10 plus years. So yeah, I just appreciate him, and I just show up every time he calls.
I love it. Yeah, I feel like it's my second time seeing you perform there, and I was like, wow, yeah. Good joints, by the way. We'll have to get into more detail about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I'm from LA. I've been doing music since 2011, so about 14 years. I really got into music. I feel like it came natural. Like my dad, he did music back when he was younger. My mom, she had musical friends. She just was always into the classics, but she also helped produce one of Montel Jordan's biggest record, This Is How We Do It. So this is kind of how it's just been around me my whole life. So it just kind of came natural to me to just jump in, and I just couldn't stop after that.
I love it. Oh, we're about to get into that. I mean, I'm excited to learn more. Let's get into your artist spotlight. So, how would you describe your music style?
First and foremost, authentic. I think there's not a single person that sounds like me, and so that's what I love about my music. That's probably why I'm my biggest fan, because it's different. It's my story. And it doesn't matter what it's about, whether it's turn up, whatever the case may be. These are all my stories. This is what I did when I was turned up, and this is what I did when I probably went through something crazy or whatever the case may be. So number one, authentic. But I think for the most part, if I had to, I think the biggest thing is the bars. And I feel like it's an unappreciated thing now in music, but I'm very heavy on putting the bars into the music, whether it's a conscious song or not. I'm making sure it's there. And so I just want people to take or to understand that I appreciate the craft. So I put into it as well. I'm not just trying to make music to go viral. I really do this at a high level.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Me being a 90s baby, I feel like, I would appreciate some bars and real lyrics. It definitely has faded today.
Right.
With music. And, I actually been checking out your music. And I was going to say, I love your bars. You tell it, I feel like you have different vibes. You have the serious type of music, and you got the turn up type where you riding the beat. So I want to give you your flowers on here. So
thank you.
Good work with that. Who were your, speaking of bars and lyrics and stuff, who were your favorite artists growing up?
So my first favorite artist was Mace. And that just kind of came from my household. My mom played Mace, my aunt played Mace. It just, every time he dropped a video, they turned the TV on and we was playing. They had every Mace song, whether it was, they could bootleg it, however they could get it, they had it. And so that was just the first person I really actually appreciated, that did music, and just kind of his swag too. He had a certain swag about him, and the way he carried himself. I think that's where I gravitated to most, just because being a young kid, you think man, he got all the ladies, look how he moved, and just the creativity and behind the videos, you're I want to do that. I want to put on the spacesuit and just vibe out. So I definitely, Mace was the biggest influence, but there was a couple others like Eminem. I used to listen to Ludacris heavy. I would say like my next big one after uh uh Mace would be like Kanye, pre-Kanye, because I know everybody going, like, but he came off, and he was a genius at what he does. And then Young Thug is another one for me as well.
I like your lineup. And that was like a real
Yeah.
like a different diagram of lineup. And I'm glad you brought up Mace too and the creativity, because I feel like a lot of music videos today miss out on that. Like they're not putting thought into the colors and the
Right.
outfits and the whole like telling the story part. So
Right.
okay, that's real. I like that. I like that. And
Yeah.
speaking of messages and lyrics and things like that, like what's a
Mhm.
message that you want your listeners to receive? When they're vibing to your music.
I just want them to feel good, and also just to know that anything is possible. Like, you gotta just be able to sit down and do the work. And
Mm-hmm.
if you've heard my music from the beginning to where I am now, like, you'll know, like, I sat down, I did the work. And so, like, just knowing, like, you can get to where you want to go as long as you put in the work, but also have a good time, like, live life, have fun.
And I'm glad you put that you said that too, because I feel like anytime we start any type of craft, whether it's a new business or anything like that, we're going to evolve.
Hmm.
Things are going to change. Different versions of us are going to be birthed. So I love that you brought that up, because
Hmm.
no brand stays the same. Like anything
Absolutely
that
not.
you're going to do. So I love that. That's real good. Focusing
Yeah.
on the hard work. So I checked out your album. Comes with Envy. Great
Yeah.
project, by the way.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about the story behind the project and the process of putting it together.
So Comes with Envy, it's really just the idea that no matter how hard you work and how much you put into something and how good of a person you are, somebody's gonna hate you for what you do.
Mm,
And
mm.
somebody's gonna, whether you know them or not. And then also too, it could be the people around you, the people that tell you on a daily basis, like, hey, I love you, bro, I support you. And secretly they sitting there like, man, why him? Why not me? Or, and that's something I dealt with a lot, as far as, you know, inviting people out, like, yo, pull up to my show. You know what I'm saying? Even to the point where I'm like, look, I'm gonna give y'all free tickets, and they couldn't make it. But they'd go to J. Cole's show, Drake's show, Kendrick's show, and it's like, I know they ain't giving you no free tickets. So it's just kind of one of them things. And then when you start to get lit, they like, oh, what's up? Or why you didn't invite me? And it's like, you wasn't even there when I was paying for you to be there, basically. So that's really where it comes from, is just like, understanding that not everybody's going to support what you do, and no matter how hard you work and how good you do by people, somebody's going to hate what you do.
That's big. Definitely see that a lot. And then the whole thing of just
Mhm.
believing in yourself, even when people in your circle turn on you or have those
Absolutely.
feelings. And I think for people to even be envy or things like that, it's because they see that you got something. And
Right.
I think we should use that as motivation to keep going versus like
Yeah.
being stuck in it, huh?
Yeah. I mean, some people they hate you. They pre-hate before you even get to where you're going, because they can
Yeah.
tell, like, based on how your mind is and how you think, how you operate, they know where you're going already. So they start to hate before it's even where it needs to be.
And the on my original episodes of this show, the focus is self-love and inner peace. So how do you like
Mhm.
protect your energy when you encounter things like this, moving up in your career?
I don't. I was gonna say I shut down, but that's not really what I'm trying to say. Is that I just more pack down all my information and keep it to myself. So as long as you don't know what I got going on, you can't put your energy onto it. And I'm very, like, big on being exclusive with my energy, like who I share with, and who I invite into my daily life, knowing what I got
Mhm.
going on. And I think once you kind of like hone in on that and make sure you know who you can have around you, who can be in what business, you'll be like, you'll just have a lot of peace.
Mhm. That's been one of my themes this year. So it's like you read about I've definitely
Right.
learned that the hard way. So
Yeah.
no, I feel that. So in your song, Chances, you say
Okay.
you can't understand the weight of my ambition. So has there been a
Hmm.
time in your life where you noticed that you were outgrowing your environment? If so, what did that period look like for you?
Uh, I always feel like I'm outgrowing my environment because I'm never comfortable with my environment. But I would say, like, it for that particular question, that it really started with, like, my friends. I think that was kind of where that bar stemmed from. Is that, like, I knew where I was going, I knew where I wanted to get to, And as I was trying to bring people in, they kind of just went their own way, or just like, you know what? I'll just wait till you on. I'll wait to, and I'm like, you really don't
Mm.
understand how much it takes to get to where I'm going. So, you just gonna kind of have to watch it from there. So yeah, that would probably be like, I mean, that's really what the basis of the project was anyway. So that's definitely what that bar was about, is just kind of like understanding my circle, and like them not being able to identify like how much work I put into this.
Okay. And last week I just did an episode on solitude and the importance
Hmm.
of it. And sometimes we need solitude and isolation to really see where
Yeah.
we're going. And I feel like too, sometimes people don't understand the vision that you have. So there's certain
Hmm.
chapters where you have to kind of isolate. So, I kind of asked this question to my guest last week, but I'm curious with you. What is one of your favorite things about solitude? Do you find that it's something that has helped you on your journey, or you find it like more like you're like more like a team-based person?
Well, I am a team-based person. Like I have an amazing team,
Hmm.
around me, but I also do enjoy like my private piece. And well, I can't say like it's 100% private, because I find like most of my piece with my fiance. So like I'm trying to be at home 90% of the time with her.
Hmm.
And if I'm not there, then you'll catch me at a couple of events or whatnot.
Okay, great. I like that. And so I know on especially with music and any industry, things challenges
Mm,
occur. And I think, people get discouraged when like the first challenge hits them, when they're on their way road or something. So,
mm,
what motivates you to keep going even when things get challenging? Because they always say don't forget your why. So that's one thing that kind of helps us do
mm.
it. So for you, what's that?
I mean, just the end goal, like, because I feel like you never know like how many more steps you are away from that goal. So just
Mm,
knowing what the end goal was, and like, and that being like the primary focus, even when it gets hard, as long as you know where you're going, I think that's what keeps me going. I feel like I self motivate. Like if I'm like in a slump, I tell myself like, but look how far you came.
mm,
So
mm,
yeah, I really self motivate a lot, but just kind of staying focused on that end goal is what really keeps me going.
hmm I love those reminders and those extra pat on your back. And, the positive self talk, because them dark
Hmm.
days do come in, and it's like you really still got to be
Absolutely.
kind to yourself. Because shoot, I
Yeah.
mean, I've been through like at the panel they talked about going through all the emotions, like Nip said, and
Right.
it's real. So
Yeah. And you
they,
have to go through every emotion, because if you don't, you might just crash out. Like sometimes it's okay to sit there and cry about it. Sometimes it's okay to be mad about it. And then, you know what I'm saying? From there, once you work through those emotions, you can sit there and like navigate your thoughts, right? And kind of like brainstorm on what's the next move. So it's very important to go through all those emotions.
ooh, well, yeah, well said. And we human at the end of the day, so it's all normal.
Bingo.
So I was reading your bio, and you had the quote on there, the motto, help the hopeless. So what does that
Hmm.
mean to you in particular?
Um, man, I just want to inspire people, but more than anything, like to actively like be out and giving back to God's people. Like that's my number one thing, is like giving back to people. And I don't do it for like social media and things like that. Like I don't think I've ever done something and like had it recorded and things like that. Like I do it just out of the kindness of my heart, just because it's important to me. And I always say like I'd probably be like one of those millionaires that make a million and give a million back to the people. You know what I mean? So I it's very important to me to be able to like give back, spread love, spread kindness, and inspire.
Mm, I love that. I think it's amazing when artists stand on something versus like, oh, I'm just here doing music. It's like, I got something behind me and my why with
Hmm.
me. So that's
Right.
big. So I know, like I've seen you at plenty of panels and things like that. Networking's important, right? Anything that you're trying to
Yeah.
build, and I think with social media, it makes some people get comfortable with just kind of being behind the screen versus like actually being outside, like you got to
Yeah.
do. So, what's a good networking tip you would give to an upcoming artist who wants to get out of their shell?
Well, honestly, first and foremost, don't be afraid to tap in with people. Like there's been, a few times in the beginning of like my career, like where I would see people and I'm like, damn, I don't want to go up to him because I don't know what he gonna say. But it's like, then they gonna never know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's where it started, is like not being afraid to approach people, but then also too, just keep showing up. Because at the same time, a lot of people remember faces. So somebody may not even know you, but they think they know you because they've seen you so much. And so like it just kind of like builds that relationship, or it starts that foundation. Like, oh, I seen you at the, and then it's like, yeah, you are, and however it work out. But yeah, it's about showing up and just kind of being in people's faces. Don't be afraid to approach nobody because they already established. They got what they got going. You gotta get yours going.
And there's a lot of important things that you said in that because it's true. I even feel that way about posting content. Sometimes we're like, oh, I don't want to post so much, but it's like, how are people going to know about your brand if you ain't posting
Right.
it? You got to, someone said people have to see a post a certain amount of times for it to even stick to them. So it's like we
Yeah.
hiding our music, hiding our gifts. How are people going to know? And then I feel the same way about going up to people too. If you're in the room with someone that you've been wanting to meet for the longest, you don't know if you're ever going to cross paths with them again. So it's
Right.
like, take advantage of that opportunity.
Yeah. And see, like for me, and it's happened to me a few times. I think like the most notable moment for me was, I was at an info list party and DJ Head was there.
Oh wow!
And I really wanted to meet DJ Head, but when I saw him walk past, I didn't say nothing to him. I just kind of looked, and so like I was like, man, I missed my chance. But sure enough, he ended up being at one of Brock's panels, and I got to chop it up with him.
Yep.
So it was just kind of like one of those surreal moments that came back full circle, and I took advantage of it. But like, what if I never got that moment again?
And I like that you learned from the previous moment. You're like, okay, and then you're like, okay,
Right.
I'm gonna see him again and take advantage. I love that.
Right.
Yeah, that's big. So y'all get outside. Like the weather getting better. Go to these events. Go to J Brock's events. All that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely a hidden gem for real.
Yeah.
Also too with the journey of music and stuff. I know it involves a lot of patience. Things don't always happen super quick. So, what's a lesson that patience has taught you on your journey?
It's key because nothing ever comes right away. I mean, like I said, I started this in 2011, so you know what I mean. And I've really been through a lot of the ups and downs. I've grinded out like, building my following just to have my page hacked, and then I had to start over. And
Oh my goodness.
it's just like one of those things where it's like remembering that it's not always on your timing. You know what I mean? You just got to keep doing the work, and it's gonna hit when it hit if it's meant for you. So yeah, I would definitely just say just knowing that, what I'm saying, everything doesn't happen on your time, and it's just do the work.
And I'm glad that you brought up the theme of starting over. That's a lot. That happens a lot on our journeys, more than we want to admit, I think. And I think we can't be afraid of it because sometimes it's inevitable. Like you said, you expect that with your page.
Yeah, for me, it kind of brought me down a little bit just because I worked so hard to get to where I was. And I think like also too, like especially in LA, like perception is reality. Like when you start over, as long as Instagram been out, let's just say, I make a new page and I got 100 followers now, people looking at like, oh, he got 100 followers, he ain't nobody. But that's not actually the case. And so like then you start to see like why he got 100 followers, but this person and this person, this person who all lit follow him, is because like it's not about like how many followers I had, it's about who's following you. So it was tough. I wanted to like shut down for a minute, but like I said, I had to really focus on that end goal and realize where I was going. And that's what really helped me pick back up and just get right back at it.
And like they say, social media ain't a real place. It's really about who are you in real life. Like you said, you go walk through a door in person and get all the love. It doesn't have. I know people who don't even have social media, and they don't want, So
right. I mean, social media make you think certain things about people that ain't even true. Like, oh, that's the richest person alive. That's the most lit place to be. And you get there and you like, where are all the people at? You know what I mean? Like, so
some people know how to capture the best moments. That's why I was telling one of my friends the other day. I'm like, I could get a martini glass, right? Put some alcohol in it and set it on my balcony and put Hawaii as a location, and you wouldn't even know.
You wouldn't even know at all. Like, I think it's such a crazy thing how people live their life through it, and they identify like who you are, like what you have going on based on what you post.
And even all of it. And I've been seeing this post go around lately, and it's been talking about how like it was like, man, only 100 views, and it showed a room of what 100 people looks like ooh, only
Right.
1,000 views, and it's true. Like it seems small, like a number on our screen, but it's actually physically it's more.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And
mhm,
it's all a ruse. Like you just kind of got to be able to like separate reality from social media. And if you can't, you lost.
you lost, yeah.
Yeah.
Like live your life, really be present, and show who you really are. I like that.
Fact.
So this is another, so for me personally, this is a challenge I've dealt with in life that, I've been working on myself, talking that has helped me in a positive way. So I'm curious with you,
Hmm.
when you're working on different things, I don't know if this happens for
Hmm.
you, but how do you silence a self-doubt?
I don't. I embrace it because
Mm, elaborate.
yeah, it's just one of those things that like if I'm feeling self doubt, there's a reason for it, and I
Mhm,
kind of want to get to the bottom of it. I want to think it through, just so like when I come out on top, I'm like, nah, I knew I could do it.
mhm,
I just needed to know like the root of what was going on, like whether it's just something going on around me, like everybody got negative energy and it's bringing me down, and now I'm just sitting in a space where I'm like, I got writer's block, or I'm in a slump, and then it's like, let me get everybody out of here now. And now I'm feeling like, nah, I got this. I'm the man now. And so it's just like I just got to take it in and dissect it and understand, and then realize who I am after that.
Okay, tapping back in with yourself.
Yeah.
That's one of the best answers I got to that question, by the way. That was a good one. Um, if you
Well,
can,
how do you deal with it?
how do I? So with me,
Yeah.
I had to personally. What has helped me is self-talk. So I had to
Okay.
like change the way I was talking to myself. So I used
Hmm.
to be the type, like, let's say I have the self-doubt creeping, I would listen to it and embrace it, like, yeah, and start to believe that, because you really believe what you say to
Yeah.
yourself.
Absolutely.
So when
Yeah.
I started reversing that, like, no, this is why it is, or like, and also too validating my feelings. Okay, it's a reason I'm
Hmm.
feeling this way, like you said.
Hmm.
Give myself that comfort in that voice. Like, why am I feeling sad? My feelings are valid. Now let's figure out what it is, and then be nice to
Right.
myself. So
Okay.
that's my way.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
like what you said. Mhm.
yeah, yeah. I think that's how you're supposed to do it. I mean, and just just to like chime in on what you said, like words are power. So like when you
Mhm.
kind of putting that on yourself and speaking it out loud, like you are creating that for yourself. And so it's like it can be hard to get out of it until you flip it around and like, nah, actually I'm a boss. Actually, like I'm this, that, and the third. So yeah, like
Mhm.
you flipping it around, that's exactly how you're supposed to do it.
Mm. And one more thing I'm gonna say too that I just thought of. Yeah, another thing. I tweeted this too. Like, if sometimes too when you're feeling like unmotivated or down,
Mhm.
put yourself around people that motivate you. Because I'm gonna be real. Like,
Yeah.
I've been in like a space of like just getting back out there. Like, I'm just now like
Right.
back feeling like myself doing getting back
Hmm.
productive. And I was like, no, let me go to this panel and be around motivated, inspiring people. That's actually gonna help fuel something. So sometimes too, you do got to push yourself to get out of whatever that is to be around those
Right.
people too.
Right.
So that's another way. Okay. So I know in music, collabs arise and things like that. So let's manifest it. So if you could collab with any artist, who would it be and why?
Uh Well, mind you, I got some actual major collabs that one dropping this Friday. But if I could really like pick anybody, it's kind of hard to choose between the two.
Mhm.
But I either want a Mace verse or I want a Nipsey verse.
Oh yes,
And
great.
yeah, those it got to be one of those. Um, but going back to like how we started in the beginning, like that, one of the songs that I performed on that panel.
Mhm.
I got a collab project with Goddamn It Dupree, which is one of
Give me
the
thoughts.
biggest producers on the West Coast, absolute legend to the city. And my first single has Dreamville's artist Kaz. So yeah, we got some big stuff on the way. I got Big E from the project. I got Twizzy Twitch. Um, I got Meekster, Popsky, just some real goats in the city. So yeah.
Oh, we're gonna applaud you right now. And the second song you did, you said that one ain't out yet, right? Till Friday.
It's not out
Yeah,
yet.
because I was looking for it. I was
Yeah,
like,
but I can tell you
yeah.
that's gonna be the outro to the project though. Just because I
Okay.
feel like it's so hard,
Oh my,
that's the perfect way to close it out.
y'all, it was so good. Y'all out there listening. I was feeling it. I hear me out of my head in the crowd. Just saying. So,
Yeah, thank you.
okay, y'all. Release coming. Yeah, shout it out again. The date and everything.
Yeah, so 228, we got 80 dropping, Goddamn It Dupree, me and Kaz. And the project coming this summer, I Could Have Listened to You, which is really like an important project to me just because I got so many dope artists, so many like legends in the city or soon to be legends in the city on the project. And just kind of having so many people around me that didn't think I could do something on this level. So really, you're wrong. I Could Have Listened to You, but you're wrong.
Okay, look, you sending messages through the songs too. And
Right.
so I'm not an artist, but like, how is it like collabing with artists, when you work on music projects together?
Man, it's such a dope thing. It really depends on how you do it. Like with
Mhm.
this particular project, I actually like completely built the songs together with the artist. Like I didn't pre-write, pre-record anything. I just said like these the beats, let's cook it together. And I think that allowed me to get the best form of music. And
Mhm.
it also made the music a little more fun, just kind of like bouncing off each other's ideas. So yeah, but it really depends on who you in the studio with, because I've been in the studio with some people and I'm like, can't wait to get this over with. You know what I mean? But I've been in the studio with people that just kind of like make you, hey, call somebody and extend the time. Let's stay in here a little longer. So it just really depends on who you're in there with. But I love it. I love collaborating. I love creating, and what I mean. I plan to do that a little more just because I spent so much time not doing it.
Mm. Okay, so more collabs to come soon.
Absolutely.
So you have a very powerful voice in music. So what does impact through music mean to you?
Um, Man, I would say like it's the impact through music is, I would say probably like how you go through like a day to day, like to facilitate your emotions. Like, because one thing I had a conversation with my cousin. We was like, man, if music didn't exist, bro, the world would have nuked over like 20 times.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I think like the impact of music, it just allows you to like navigate your emotions. There's something for everything you go through in everyday life. And it doesn't matter what genre, like there's something to make you feel good. There's something that's going to make you cry. There's something that's going to make you laugh. And it just helps carry you. Like it's a light. It's a light to the world.
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree. Like, I'm sorry, I choose music over TV. I don't even watch TV, but I listen to
Ooh,
music all
bingo.
day. Mute,
Yeah.
look.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, for real. Shout out to artists out there, because y'all get me through. I was gonna say it.
Right.
So I know you touched up already on your on a new project, but any other upcoming projects or shows that you want to shout out on the platform, on this platform?
So I do have a project that's gonna come right after this one, and it's a 4-song. It's an EP. Um, I haven't picked a name for it, but it's gonna be spacey, just because the single the single is gonna be called "Have You Ever Been to Space?"
Mm.
And man, I'm like addicted to that song. If I could drop it today, I would, but I'm getting in trouble because management ain't having it.
You gotta follow the rules.
Yeah, it's gotta play my part.
Ain't nothing wrong. Okay, we'll look out for that too as well. Look, so we know we got some hot stuff coming. So
Yeah, for
I love
sure.
to ask all my guests a fun question. So your fun question is, what was one of the first rap songs you memorized, like all the lyrics to?
Oh, hmm.
Oh, rap song and R&B song. I'm gonna give you two because I'm curious.
I feel like it was a ludicrous song, to be honest. And I don't, and the reason why it bothers me is because I'm trying to think, do I know the lyrics right now? Because I listened to Mace so much, but like I was so young that I didn't remember the songs. I always knew who Mace was. Like now that
Mhm.
I'm older, I know the songs. But Ludacris, I think, was the first person I remembered his actual songs, because I used to just put it on repeat, play it back, and I think it was that Get Back song.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a good one. And then what about R&B? Like a singing
Ooh,
song.
man, R&B is a tough one because
I know
I'm
it's so
very
many.
no, I'm very selective on R&B. Like it's really hard to get me to listen to R&B. Um, it had to been like a Chris Brown song. Maybe it was that what's the song he came out with? Um,
Well,
I
yo,
don't know
run
your
it,
name, but excuse me,
yo,
miss. Yeah,
yo.
that.
That
Yeah,
was one of the first CDs I bought as a kid. Thinking
right.
I'm doing something. No,
Man. Yeah.
that
No,
was
we
a
had we
time.
had whew, the music was nonstop fire back then. it just didn't miss for sure.
Can we bring that back, please? I still listen to all that today. I can't stop.
Yeah. Hey, Chris Brown's still dropping nothing but gems right now. I dropping and congrats to him on getting that first Grammy because he deserved it.
Look, well deserved, man.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's some good ones. Look, maybe you get a Chris Brown collab too. Throw that
Well,
out
if I
there.
get a Chris Brown collab, I'm gonna be a different person. I'm gonna be bougie. You cannot talk to me the same after that. I'm not the same person. I'm not even gonna be Heir The Prophecy. I'm just be Heir.
Just Air. It's gonna be a lot of envy for real. You're gonna have to check. You have to double that album.
Yeah, we gotta switch it up.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Shout out to Chris Brown. Look, hope he listening too. Shoot.
Right. Yeah. Tap in, man. Tap in.
It is now time for the wrap up. Like I mentioned, this show focuses on self-love. So yeah, how do you practice self-love? I love to ask you this question.
I mean, just showing up for myself. I think just kind of like the work that I put in, every day, just telling myself, you got this. Getting up and striving to do better, to have more. And, the people I surround myself with too, like that is a part of me, my self-love is like having people that love me too, because that helps me love myself more. So yeah, that's really how I do it, man. Just the people that I have around me and just kind of showing up for myself.
That was a good one. I love what you said. People around you that love you. Oh my goodness, that is big. Thank you for that one too. You out here dropping nuggets, y'all. And the final question I love to ask all my guests is, what do you want to be remembered for?
Honestly, I would say it's probably not the music, man. I would say like I want to be remembered for like the impact that I had on people's lives, like, and how many people I was able to touch and like what they were able to do because of what I did for them. So yeah, if it could be anything, it'd be that.
I love passing it down like a domino effect. I love
that.
That's impact right there already.
Yeah, I want to create generational wealth for myself, but also help other people create it. So just kind of changing that whole narrative of like what it means to like grow up the way I did and not have too much and like strive so much to have everything. So I just want to make that like an accessible thing, like to where just as many people as I can know what that feels like.
Like you definitely already doing it. So shout out to you for that. I appreciate you coming on here. It was great to like get to know you more in your music. Before we go, can you shout your information out, where people find you, book you, all that?
So all social media is Heir The Prophecy, all streaming platforms, Heir The Prophecy. For bookings, any inquiries, get at Legal Queen LA. You know what I'm saying? She quick to handle business. She don't play about it.
Yes. Shout out to her. Hey girl.
Yeah.
Yes. I'll make sure y'all tap into his music. His music is high. Make sure y'all catch one of his performances. He has high energy during his performances. So y'all tap in. I appreciate y'all tuning in to another amazing artist spotlight episode. Make sure y'all follow on Instagram and Twitter at SpeakUpJV. My personal is at Vernisa. And I'll be back next Thursday with another cool episode. And I love y'all. Have a good rest of y'all month and take care.